What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. It's Paige Cheyenne. If you're new, just stopping by, don't go too soon. Definitely continue to check me out. Press the subscribe button and continue to take this journey with me. So today we are doing a side part sewing on my client. I got a lot of comments in regards to how I sew, so I figured let me go on and zoom right in. So this is gonna be fairly close to her head. But I wanted you guys to see how I actually sew in my foundations or my bundles. So I've already completed the foundation, as you can see, to a side part. My standard foundation that I always do. So if you haven't seen that, I'm pretty sure I have a video on that. Go check it out. I'll leave it in the description below. This is the very first bundle. I do believe her longest bundle was 24 inches, and this is from my collection hairline. So as you can see, I started off with sewing multiple times on the very first piece of the bundle. Yes, right now I am sewing through the actual weft, and I am double knotting and pulling all the way through. And I'm going to repeat that because I'm going to give it some good security, good stability, so the sewing can actually last. So with this being the very first bundle that we're putting in, of course you want to always put in your longest bundle first so you can have that nice layer, right? The very first bundle, I have it double weft, so I have it flipped to get all of that hair in. The next bundle, I'm going to not flip it or not double weft it. It's just going to be single, and I'll sew in, and then my last one is also single. But also notice with the very first bundle that I took the weft underneath of her braid and sewed it in. So therefore, when she pulls it in a ponytail, yes, she has leave out at the bottom, but you won't see any braids exposed. Only thing you'll see is the hair itself. So right now we're going to be sewing from ear to ear, and that's basically all you're going to do this whole time sewing. So it really doesn't matter if you have a middle part, a side part. You're always going to start in the back, work your way to the front, sew, basically sew how your braids are going, and then start sewing from ear to ear. You do want to ask your client how they want it to fall on their face, because that matters on how you're going to take the front and how you're going to lay it in the front. So you would sew it more so on an angle if they want it to fall more on their face, but if not, you would just sew it straight horizontally. So here's a better view of how I'm sewing. I'm taking my thread through my needle, double knotting, and then pulling through my needle, pulling through, and then continue to go. I don't always double knot. I might do every other one. I might do every single one. But it is important that you at least do every other one so you can have that stability and that security. When you double knot, it is using more thread, so that's why it's important to be prepared for your sewing. So before your client even comes in, I would say at least have 10 to 15 needles threaded already so it doesn't slow you down during this whole process. Now I'm at the end of my thread. I'm going to cut it. If it was long enough, I probably could have pulled it through with the needle on there, but it wasn't. So I'm just going to cut it and double knot it so it's nice and secure, then cut it off. But back to prepping your thread. I do have a video on how I prep my needles for my sewings, so you can definitely check that out if you are looking for that. But basically it's threading through that little hole on your needle, making it arm's length, maybe a little bit longer than arm's length, and then prepping multiple needles. Again, it's going to help you stylists, or even if you're doing your old sewing, it's going to help you continue and not having to stop and thread, because that can take up time. And the goal is to get the client in and out in a timely manner. I also received a lot of comments on how I do my flip method. So I tried to zoom in here so you can see exactly how I flip my track over. Now with this being double weft, you really want to make sure that this is flat, so there's no lumps or anything like that. So I'll zoom in. I think I'm doing it right now. Yes. And you can see I'm taking my needle in between that weft, pulling it through and laying it flat. Now I'm still going to hold and really secure it down multiple times. Now I think I keep going. So we are now installing the second bundle. As you can see, this is not double weft, it's single, and we're going to start on her side part that has less hair. So I want to take it at a bit of an angle so it can fall nicely in her face, and then continue to sew. The very first track, just like before, I want to sew about three to four times just to make sure it's secure in place, and then I'll continue with knotting and threading. Notice how I'm going underneath of the braid still. So again, if she chooses to pull it in a ponytail, it will not show any braids. No braids will be exposed. Only thing you will see would be, one, her hair will be covered by her natural hair, but then you'll just see the bundle itself. So it's very repetitive, guys. If stylists as well, I hope you learn from this video. Continue to knot. I knot simply because it makes the sewing last longer. Your hair is guaranteed to grow. The braids are going to get loose over time. That's what you want it to do. So in order to make sure that the hair is not falling off of the track, or you don't have any loose tracks, I knot to ensure of security. You'll also notice that my wefts are right on top of each other. There's not going to be a lot of gaps in between them. One, if I were trying to put 4 bundles in here, that would help with that. I might even stack one on top of the other. However, you want to be able to keep moving up, right? Fill up that head with all the bundles, laying the tracks right on top of each other. It ensures of no gaps, so you don't notice it, especially on the top. Okay, now if she were to have not enough bundles, and maybe I would skip some in the back where it's not that noticeable, but you want to make sure this hair is full. You want to make sure that those braids are covered, especially in that front area. So lay them right on top of each other. So I just went ahead and finished up the sewing process. It is very repetitive. You just do it all the way to the top, all the way to her leave out. Now we're going to prep and get ready for her flat iron. This hair is very long, full. It is very luscious. I absolutely love this hair. That's another reason why you don't want to cut a lot of your weft and a lot of your track, because it is going to last her 3 to 5 years. So, you know, cutting it up, you will have to find the pieces, if sewing it in again, etc. Not saying that you're not going to cut at all, but just try to keep the wefts intact as much as possible. She has 20, 22, 24 inches body wave. So now we're just going to go in, flatten her natural hair, and blend her out. And that's going to be it. Just like silk presses with natural hair, I normally typically go through my weave hair too with one one go through with a flat iron. And right now I'm using my Babyliss Nanos titaniums in the bigger inch, which I absolutely love. It gives it the most coverage. It allows you to get through a little bit quickly. I do always put an extra press into my hand on how I actually hold the flat iron to really sleek it out. But normally one good press through and the hair is straightened. I also use Ion Silk Serum prior to pressing, simply because it just adds to the silkiness and how the hair is going to lay. So definitely keep watching for the final results. I hope you guys enjoyed from this video and actually learned from the video on how I sew in my traditional sewings. Again, this isn't just for traditional sewings, but you can use this method for closure sewings, lace fronts when you sew the back, etc. So don't forget to comment, like, definitely subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications so you know exactly when I post, and I hope you guys enjoy.